Hey guys, Sean here with another no-nonsense video, and today I'm going to explain how to replace the hazard flasher on a C5 Corvette. Now, I'm making this video just because I could not find a video that would actually show how to do it and kind of explain it. It's just people kind of showing the hazard flasher already working and telling you what they did and not really explaining how to do anything. I'm going to break it down real quick and explain all of the steps involved and make it really as detailed as possible. So the actual cover for the hazard flasher is going to be old and probably brittle. It's about 20 years old. And my camera sucks, but I'm going to try to zoom in on this the best that I can. Basically, inside this cap, you got a couple little prongs. I know you can't see that on camera, but this is my old hazard flasher switch. And if you look at it, you'll see that there's basically one little clip on the top and two very small little humps on the back. That's what holds this cap on. So in order to get this cap off, because I was struggling with that and I couldn't even see a video to do that. People are like, oh, it just pulls off. If you have a little flat blade screwdriver, because this is so brittle, you could pry on the bottom of it and pry on the top of it and kind of work it out with a screwdriver. If you had a screwdriver that had a little, like if you bent the tip off the screwdriver so it was a little hook, this would just pop straight out. So it's really not too hard to get this out. Once you do that, you're going to see this guy, and it's positioned in there just like that. The blue's on the right-hand side. You're going to see this sucked into your dash, and you're going to say, how the hell do I get that out? There's two clips. There's one on the top, and there's one on the bottom. And those little humps right there is what holds this thing into place, and I'll go in the car here in a second. A lot of people are saying you got to remove the bolster and take the whole console out. Some people are saying you take the dash pad out. That's all craziness. I had to replace my stereo. I'm doing some upgrades. So I already had the console out. My blinker was intermittently working. Sometimes it'd work, sometimes it wouldn't. I would tap on this button a couple times. So if your blinker stops working, you just tap on that guy a few times and it'll start working again. And it'll fail in a couple miles, but might be able to get you home. And I got kind of tired of doing that. So I said, okay, let's do this. And just before we go any further, the old switch, the AC Delco switch, there is not a replacement for that AC Delco makes. They're all going to be Chinese knockoffs. I read that a 2004 Impala switch would work, and AC Delco still has some of those on eBay. I picked one up and my hazard flashers were just going nonstop and it didn't work. So that's some misinformation there. I don't know if somebody was just being funny or I don't know. I took his advice and it was the wrong advice. I bought mine from eBay. That's the item number. Who knows how long this is going to last. I'm hearing people say that, oh yeah, you know, if it's Chinese, it's going to last you a year and it's going to fail. Well, I put it in, the light, there's actually a light bulb in there. Mine was burnt out. I didn't even know that. The light's on, things seem to be working fine. The flash is the same tone as it was. It's not hyper flashing or anything like that. I was just reading forums about trying to do this and couldn't get a straight answer. The cover is supposed to actually be red. Mine was white, so I bought this new hazard flasher cover off of Vet Pros for like 18 bucks. Just so it's not all faded, and further inspection on the cap, mine's all cracked up anyway, so I don't know if you can see. This camera's not very good. I have a terrible phone, but there's hairline cracks, so this will probably just come right off for you. I'd recommend replacing that because I put it on the new one and it kind of just barely sits on there. So let's go in the car real quick and I can explain a little bit more. I just finished this job. Be prepared to spend 2 hours doing this. And people were like, oh yeah, it comes right in and out and you pull the bolster out. And I'm not going to show you the procedure, but I assure you it works fine. It doesn't. So don't even waste your time messing with the bolster. I found a nice little secret. And because I'm your friend, I'm going to share that with you. So I already have mine installed. That's the new cap. That's 18 bucks. Again, just take a little flat blade screwdriver, try to get behind there without scratching with your trim, and that will just pull straight out. A little hook on the end of the screwdriver, that sucker will come right off. Take your radio out. I replaced my HVAC controls. I put all new bulbs and things like that in there. I didn't make a video on that, but there's a lot of those, and that was pretty difficult too. I wouldn't recommend doing that. I wouldn't do it again. Anyway, I digress. So once you have that cap off, all you have to do is take a really thin screwdriver. I have a very thin blade screwdriver, and you can push it right at the bottom of the switch. Push in, and then push on the switch, and it will kind of cock in there. And then push on the top and jam that screwdriver in there, and the switch will pop right through. It took me realistically about 8 minutes to get that out. And everyone was saying, you got to take all the stuff apart, try to reach up through there. And I didn't want to do that. I know it's only a few screws. I just didn't want to take any more parts off this car right now. I just wanted to get it in and out. Got that out. And once you get down here, you can see that switch is up there, right above your radio. You got to pull that back towards the firewall, and then you can work it out this hole right here or this hole right here. There's a wiring harness on it. The wiring harness just has one little knob you have to depress, and it pulls off pretty easy. Now, the hard part, putting it back in. I just struggled with this for realistically probably 45 minutes. And I almost took the bolster out and tried to get from underneath, but I figured I could figure it out, and I did. So I put the wiring harness back on the new switch, fed it back through the hole that I took it out of, and I got it up here, and I got it right at the back. This is about 3 inches deep. I saw some people using a pair of needle nose pliers and trying to pull the switch through. I tried that, and I kind of marred up the end of the switch, and it wasn't really working. I couldn't get a bite on it. So what I ended up figuring out is if you go to the back of the firewall, and I don't have huge hands, but I have large hands, I'm 250 pounds, I'm a big dude. I was able to get my fingers back there and get on that pigtail on the back of the switch, and I pushed it back towards the front of the car. I pushed it out towards this way. And once it starts to get lined up and it slides back about an inch to you, then you can get some needle nose on there. I was able to then, instead of using a needle nose, I was able then to put my fingers right on that switch and just press it right in, and it clicked. And then the new cap just pushes right on, and it works. I know I didn't show the process. I wouldn't even want to try to record this. You would have heard a lot of cuss words. But yeah, if you have any questions, hit me up, and hopefully you guys get this done. It's not an easy job. I mean, I would pay a shop $200 to do that. I think that's about what it's worth, but you don't need to take the dash off. You don't need to take the bolstering off. You just have to take the bezel out. There's videos on that. It's pretty easy. And yeah, that's it. I made some other videos for some little tricks on how to work on these cars. They are kind of difficult to work on, so check out my channel, and if you have any questions, let me know. Good luck. Later.